Wow. Give two girls with ADD new technology and what the what?
Woo!
Hi, everybody. So, two girls and a squirrel, you're going to notice we're on a new platform.
Bum, bum, ba-da-da.
It's because we've made it so big. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Jill. What's going
Um,
on, girl?
am I freezing on your end or can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay, because on my end, I'm like, which is weird. I look like the Matrix.
Ooh, super cool. No, you're just regular speed where you're doing some weird stuff.
Okay. So we're using a free platform first to see if we like it. So we have some limitations, which is okay. But we'll get there together. We are two girls and a squirrel, which is great because what are we, Christina? What are two girls and a squirrel?
Yo, we are a little bit nuts, but we are a lot of fun. And my favorite thing about us is that we are not afraid to speak from the heart.
Our hearts keep getting bigger, I think. Today's going to be a show we think about news. We're going to do a few things, but there's a lot going on in the news world that we kind of wanted to touch upon. So we'll definitely get to that for sure. But I'm excited because we have, topics and different people give us different suggestions. And so, Christina, we're going to do something coming up next week that we've been talking about wanting to do with a guest. Would you be willing to share?
I would love to be able to give this introduction. So Scurry, my friends, my wonderful humans who are here listening to us today, we have a special treat. One of my favorite people in my life, who I hold dearly and respect very much. They have agreed to come onto this show, and we're going to have a conversation about pronouns and all of what that means and all of what that entails to make sure that we are able to provide a space that we can have this educational session.
Okay. I think that's great because we want a balance of like the fun and the knowledge. And I will let you know that we're going to talk about we'll do our usual feedback from the Scurry because that part is like it's becoming as much as like
favorite.
It's like the Jimmy Fallon thank you notes of the podcast. But I got a little trouble because one of our Scurry was mad. It took me too long to get the podcast up.
Oh my god!
We were I was afraid because this person has my address, and I was thinking, they're going to be on my front porch going, I want the podcast, but so hopefully with the new platform, it'll help. So
I mean, if you're gonna do that and you're gonna demand the vodcast, at least bring a coffee over to Jill, so that way she's got the caffeine in order to get this out for you. So
yeah, and I'm a little bit of a caffeine girl, right?
Yes.
So here's my crazy squirrel lady mug. One of the things that
Josh.
Yes, Josh. One of the things we noticed is when you point on here, the person. So which way am I right now for you?
When I look at the screen, you are on my right-hand side.
But I'm actually over here. No, I'm over there.
No, wait. So if I point So if wait.
But if I do this, watch. Yes. Now it's only me. And then if I put you back and I go like this, now we switch sides and we got bigger.
We got bigger.
I'm going to be able to mess with you the whole time. I love it.
I'm just never going to be able to point. I can't gesticulate in this entire thing. I'm just going to have to hold on to my shirt and just be like, Jill, who's somewhere around.
That's a big word. Gesticulate. I know what it means. I'm just saying it's a big word. It's a hard word for me because I don't know how to spell. We know that.
Well, we also did talk about the fact that squirrel was an unused spelling word that you haven't had in a while. And then I feel like, you're definitely crushing it with the squirrel. You've totally spelled squirrel correctly every single time that we've needed it somewhere. So I believe in you. I believe in you.
It's funny because I have a master's degree. It's actually, you can kind of see it hanging on the wall there. Like, I spent 30 grand on that piece of paper, and yet I can't spell and I don't know geography. Like, last week we did a whole thing about like the geography of, because I mean, when we do our show, although we kind of have like a thought of where we're going to go, it's intentionally unintentional. So we squirrel, as we call it. And so we start talking about, I don't know, one of the M states, which I found out that person doesn't, they live in, Nebraska. They don't even live in the M state. But don't ask me where Nebraska is, because I have no clue.
It's somewhere out that way.
Yeah. It's somewhere where I usually don't agree with the politics. That's how I judge. Do I need to know where? No, I'm kidding. So if it's okay, last week we talked about something, and I'd love to kind of follow up with that. But first, would you be open to us doing comments?
Oh my goodness. This is my favorite part of the show, Jill. So I would love to do comments, you guys. Like, this is my favorite, when we get to have we get feedback, we get answers that you guys have come up with if we have any questions that we pose. This is one of my favorite segments. So Jill, what is the commenting and feedback? Aww. Also, look how cute our logo is. Jill did an amazing job on that. So props and shout out to you. Myra, I'm so glad you like it. I love that you love it. Uh-oh. Jill forgot to unmute herself.
Can you hear me?
There you are. Hi.
All right. So I thought I could be not on screen, but apparently I can't be.
No.
That's weird.
There you are.
Okay. Well, anywho, so there we go. That's how I can do it. You can still hear me, right?
Yep.
Okay. See, new platform, everybody. So this is what it'll look like. And now you can see our logo. Yay. So Myra is a friend who, she just started her own business. And I was thinking about you because I know you said you're fun employed. Obviously a victim of the stupid pandemic. But what Myra does is, Myra's business, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it essentially helps individuals not just get a job. Am I muted? Or are you laughing at me? Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm laughing at you. You're
okay. That's fine. If I'm muted, just do something like, anyway, so yeah, Myra is, the business is about not just getting a job, but keeping a job, which I think is so huge.
Stuff,
so I'll hook you up with Myra. All right. Next comment. You ready?
Yes.
All right. Lauren, who used to be a teammate of mine at Inspired Marketing, my old company. Lauren is awesome. And Lauren has zero patience or attention span. So the fact that she told me she loved it was like a huge win.
Our 30 minutes, people don't think that 30 minutes is a long time, but people who don't have an attention span, 30 minutes to sit down and actually watch something is really challenging, man. So
speaking of timing, you're probably not doing the timer, are you? We forgot to talk about that. So if you want to turn it on.
Actually, I don't know if you see this, but I see a little live, and we've been live for 8 minutes at the top of our screen.
Wow, this is genius. I don't know. Okay.
I did not track our time.
So the last week, Shamel talked about us, so we tagged him, and when we tagged him, he wrote that he couldn't wait to listen to the next show. So it's like we have like the ongoing. And then this is my shirt. I hope everybody can see it. This is my newest contribution clothing shirt. Can you see this one? Oh wait, hold on. I gotta put myself on screen. Hold on.
Yes. Where are you?
Let's do this. Hold please. All right. Woo, that made me really big. Can you see that? Wait, this way, right?
Got my Fauci ouchie. Can I say I think Fauci ouchie is the most hilarious hashtag. Anytime I hear it, I just burst into giggles.
Clothing. And Kelly, last week, Kelly said, thank you for sharing and shouting me out. Can't wait to listen to this, with a huge smiley face. Contributionclothing.com. We love it. We support it because she supports empowerment charities. Right now, she just released a line of items, not graphic tees, but other types of clothes. And if you purchase, it has to do, it's called her, I think she called it her Survivor series. And it's about domestic violence. And for another time, but I'm a DV victim, so huge, important to me. So check that out, contributionclothing.com. And then we had Dana. Can't pronounce her last name. Dana was one of my students when I used to adjunct, and Dana is absolutely a rock star. And this is what's so crazy, though. We had a student in our class who also listens to the podcast, whose name is Alexa. But my boss, her name is Alexis. And so I keep calling Alexa Alexis. And I knew I said it, but I thought when I wrote it on the screen, I thought I wrote it right, and I didn't. So I got in trouble for that. But as you can see, she's in the pockets camp for leggings.
Oh my goodness. I've worn my leggings, I think 5 out of the 7 days in a row now. And I don't think I've ever worn, I like, this is just changing my entire life with these pockets. My mind is blown by this invention. And I'm so sorry that I got on the leggings with pockets train so late.
Well, I think my disappointment, though, about her comment to us was she didn't answer the most important part of the conversation, which was nothing underneath, thong, or granny panties. And so because she didn't answer that, she better comment this time. So I will make sure I tag her. We also heard from our gal again, Miss Regina Burns. She was back, and she's fabulous. She was so cute. She actually stopped by to get some stuff at my house recently, and she was like, "Oh my God, the podcast!" So she's living for this. I mean, living for this. That's pretty major.
For your comments, Regina.
And then Josh, of course, Josh is the president of the Scurry fan club. And
Absolutely.
I wanted you to know that he said we're getting better every week.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate the feedback, Josh.
And keep rocking it out. So I thought that was really cool. And then I wanted to shout out a few of our new Scurry members. These individuals have all liked or shared or commented on our vodcast. So, Denise and Chris and Malik. Malik is a magician. Malik's phenomenal. We have to have him on sometime.
That would be so much fun.
A few of my friends. Oh, I forgot to put ACS next to Courtney. Rebecca and Courtney are American Cancer Society. Carrie, if you ever need restoration, Carrie's company, Crystal Restoration, it's a woman-owned company, which is really cool because usually
that's super cool.
It's more male-dominated. And then Ryan was back, political consultant, RMC Strategies. Wendy, bookkeeper. John Neeb. We're all the way down in North Carolina. Elizabeth Terez. Andrew Gurney, Teresa Rodriguez, Aquino was back, and my advertising works, Leslie from there. So, yeah, I think we're doing it. What do you think?
Oh my God, we have a grouping, we have a following, we have people who are dedicated to watching. Like, this is such a crazy feeling. This is indescribable for me.
Now, the key though is we have to get people to now like our like subscribe to our Facebook page, because unless they do that, we can't get like the name.
Right.
YouTube. So, did I say Facebook? I meant YouTube.
You said, that's okay. This is why we're a team.
I'm multitasking. I'm trying to make a picture bigger for the next thing. Go on.
But yeah, definitely for YouTube, if you watch our videos, your contribution of a subscription will get us our own YouTube /twogirlsandsquirrel.com. So it's easier for you guys to find us and share with all of the lovely people that you want to know about us in the world. So,
and you didn't freeze on your end, did you? Because you were frozen on my end. So I'm just hoping you weren't frozen. All right, sorry. Stop it. Knock it off, lady. You're such a brat, and this is why I love you. OMG. In case anybody was wondering who the heck we are, we're two girls and a squirrel. So
we haven't done that yet. That person. The other co-host is Jill Monson, fabulous, lovely, wonderfully eccentric. And I'm Christina Tom.
The absolutely outstanding, cannot be better if we paid her, Christina Tom.
I don't know. I think we maxed out on awesomeness for this podcast.
So would you like to chat about what we brought up last time?
Okay, so here's the thing, Jill. Can I very quickly insert and go off book really quickly?
Oh, boy.
So,
Disclaimer, intentionally unintentional. Intentionally unintentional, a little bit nuts, a lot of fun.
Okay, so this is a totally off topic.
Ready.
Randomly just popped into my head. In no way a real life situation. This is totally 100% hypothetical. This is in no way happening.
Is this going to be about underwear? Go on.
This is in no way happening in any particular household, but and it's a two-part question. Still hypothetical. Still randomly off the top of my head, but how long do you keep your Halloween candy for, and how long do you leave your Christmas lights up? Totally
Halloween?
Random, totally hypothetical. Halloween. In no way applicable to any particular one or thing. Just curious, how long does one keep Halloween candy out?
All right. So I'm a bad person to ask about Halloween candy right now because of my whole, like, I'm sugar free and don't do it, you know, so like we haven't done Halloween in a while. You know, I know my nephews keep it until they're like little pebbles, you know what I mean? Like they hang on to it so that they can just like, you know, keep it and eat it forever. In terms of Christmas decorations, by the first of the year, like whatever the first weekend is after the first of the year, they're down. And there's a joke in my wife's family had this joke that if you drive around and you see the Christmas lights out, like later in the, you know, that this is terrible. That person, I won't even, that person has a little bit of an alcohol consumption problem. So when we see somebody that has their lights on in like February, we go like alcoholic. It's something, yeah. It's a silly. It's like punch buggy. It's just a thing. Anyway, sorry. We do love your feedback though, because I'd like to know what other people think. Like, how long on the Halloween candy, and how long do you keep the not Halloween decorations? That's too much. Don't do Halloween decorations. Christmas decorations.
Anyway, totally inapplicable whatsoever. Just curious. But so Jill, as a follow-up to what we had briefly spoken about, I hear there is an update on something that you have done recently.
Well, it was a while back. So last week we chatted about how I think it was HBO Max was going to be having Magic Mike, the reality show. Which, by the way, Christina and I have decided that after that airs, that part 2, like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, will have a lesbian version of the Magic Mike called Magic Mikette.
Ooh.
That's what I'm thinking. Or Magic Michelle, either one. Anyway, but we talked about, and I had shared with you that I had been on not been on a reality show, but that I auditioned for a reality show.
Yes,
you were like, and then you wanted to know which one, and I wouldn't tell you because I'm a big
so mean. I cried in a corner. It was awful.
So and if Andy Jensen is listening, he was my buddy who filmed me. I auditioned for The Biggest Loser.
You did?
And then I went to New York City and did an in-person thing. And I didn't make it on the show, but it was quite the experience.
That's incredible.
Yeah. I think I probably would have killed Jillian Michaels because it was back in the day and she was still on. I mean, she was really hot, but the first time that she screamed at me and made me throw up, I probably would have yelled at her and we would have been in trouble. So needless to say, it's probably a good thing that I wasn't on the show. But yeah, and I'm not sure if the video is still kicking around, but if I can find it, I will I'll hyperlink it or something because we don't know how to insert videos into this after the
fact. We're working on it.
One step at a time, people. So I think, and it's funny because a lot of times, like, you go to these parties, right? You go to like holiday parties or whatever, and they play games. And so that fact about me being on a reality show is a lot of these times they play that game, 2 Truths and a Lie, where you say like 2 things. And so I usually use that one, but I can't now because I just shared it. But I was thinking like, I want to do 2 Truths and a Lie with you. And we'll think about which one we think is the lie. And then, but we won't reveal it till the end of today's show.
Okay.
You see what I'm doing there? I'm doing what's called a tease. Because we are 2 girls and a squirrel, and we want you to stay for the next, hopefully, 11 minutes because we are going long. So 2 Truths and a Lie. Christina, you're up. What do you got?
Okay. I wrote these down in preparation. Okay. Here are my 2 truths and a lie. I have won a beauty pageant. I have my solo skydiving certification, And I have taught pole dancing classes. Oh, she's muted again.
Oh,
hold on.
So you participated in a beauty pageant? That's what you said?
I won a beauty pageant.
You won.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, you won a beauty pageant. You have your
I won a beauty
solo
pageant.
jump out of
I
a
have
plane.
my solo skydiving certification.
And
I have taught pole dancing classes.
Oh my God. Those are good. I'm very excited to see which ones. Are you ready for mine?
Hold it. Okay, I have my list in front of me. I'm going to write some notes down.
Okay, here we go. My first is I hate Brussels sprouts.
Barbaric, but okay.
My second is I have never ridden a horse.
Okay.
And my third is I have a U.S.-shaped birthmark.
As in...
Well, you can't ask follow-up questions. You ruin every game. You were that kid. God, you were that kid that made me cry at every party I went to. All right, those are my three. Are you ready? And of course, we love your feedback. So if you want to share feedback with what your guess was, and then we'll reveal it at the end so you'll know if you were right or wrong. But I hate Brussels sprouts. Okay. I have never ridden a horse. And I have a U.S.-shaped birthmark. Those are mine. So if you want, you can email us. You can comment. Yes. I did, by the way, on YouTube. I think I've opened it up so you can comment on YouTube. There was some setting that was wrong and you couldn't comment, but now I think you can. So please, we love the feedback.
Excellent.
So speaking of crying, I definitely know that there's been some tears. And we do have to talk about some of the stuff that's been going on. You and I, empathy is something that you and I have so much of.
We do.
Christina Tom Jill Monson, our empathy is like, it's almost a problem in some cases, I think, for me, because I really take it in. And I know you and I we've been having some hard times this week. One thing that I wanted to mention, just because I feel like we kind of have to, is the Chauvin trial. And
absolutely,
you know, him taking the fifth. You know, I mean, what do you think? Like, I mean, I know you've been kind of following it. Where are you at?
I unfortunately cannot give you a non-biased opinion.
I would never expect it.
To me, this is a 4-week trial of something that we've already witnessed. I don't really think that there is a way to dispute anything that we saw, that we have video for, that's been played over and over and over again. But what are your thoughts specifically that he took the fifth? What do you think about that?
Oh, I think he's a chicken shit. I mean, I do. I think he's like, I think that if you want to sit there and say you didn't do something that, and I'm very, very much not like, not in relation to this trial, but I very much believe in our judicial system that you are innocent until proven guilty. I believe that because I believe and I don't believe that happens in a lot of cases, because I believe a lot of people are looked at as guilty before ever getting a trial. But this man has explicitly denied wrongdoing over and over and over again. And to then take the fifth is like, and I mean, I know why he did it. Obviously, he's got a good defense attorney. I mean, you know, he would have gotten himself in a corner. For me, a pivotal moment was when, was it his captain? I think it was the chief, when his supervisor spoke. Because when they talk about the blue line and not crossing the blue line, that is something that, I mean, my wife is in EMS, and there's a brother/sisterhood in first responders world that is very true. It's not a saying. So I was blown away by that. That to me sunk it. Like, if I was on the jury, that would have been my moment. Even video aside, that would have been my moment, because for someone in that position to say he did wrong, I thought he did wrong. So that's kind of where I was at. But
that's a good point. That is a really interesting point. I don't think that I didn't put as much weight on that. I'm really glad that you emphasized and you highlighted that.
Thank you. I think it's in particular because of the industry my wife is in that I pay very close attention. And I do love that brotherhood and that sisterhood, because I feel she's safe. I mean, she's not on the road right now, but I always, if I see an officer or a firefighter, I always thank them, because the three industries have to work together and protect each other. So I can't believe how quick today went. I don't know if it's the new platform or
I'm not sure
or what, but you wanted to mention, I mean, there's been a couple other incidents that have happened that you just wanted to high level pay respect to race related issues that have gone on in our country recently. So did you want to touch upon that?
Yeah, I just wanted to very briefly say that both of us, both Jill and I, and as she highlighted at the beginning of the episode with the grand amount of empathy that we each hold in our hearts, that in addition to the Chauvin trial right now, I also wanted to hold space in our hearts for the other things that are going on in the world. I wanted to pay respects to Dante Wright as well as Adam Toledo that have also been victims of similar crimes that have been going on. And so I just want the world to pause and take a moment to acknowledge everything that's been going on, because this is hard and this is awful. And we need to figure out a way to heal and get better and grow stronger.
And I don't know, Christina, you said that so well. I don't know if you saw, there was an incident with a Black and Latino military officer in Virginia. Did you see that situation where he was pepper sprayed by the officers? I don't want to mispronounce his last name wrong. He's an Army lieutenant, and I believe it's pronounced Nazario, but I'm terrible with my I watched that video, and I watched it over and over, and I heard this man say, he's being ordered. If you haven't seen it, you can watch it. You can just Google it. But he was saying, I'm afraid to get out of the car.
Yep.
And why wouldn't he be? Right now, if you have any other color skin besides this, you're afraid, male or female, you're afraid right now. Our world is not the same as it was even a year ago. And yeah, I mean, all the incidences were awful. I think that one, especially because of the service he gives to our country, he just kept begging and begging them. And again, what we're able to now see on video is a lot, a bit of, I guess you could call this positivity. And I always hesitate to say something is positive when it's still about something that was like crappy, right? But obviously we had the Capitol insurgency that happened at the beginning of the year. And today, the first offender pled guilty. The crazy part was the headline read, "Heavy metal guitarist is first U.S. Capitol rioter." That was the CNN headline. I was like, who gives a crap if he plays ukulele or he plays a heavy metal guitar? But anyway.
No, sorry, you need to edit that and say, white supremacist who rioted at the Capitol pled guilty for the fact that he did commit these terrorist crimes. But I don't get to be a writer at CNN.
I guess we're also not allowed to say asshole pleads guilty, right? Like that, they frown upon that.
I mean, I think it takes extra ink to make those asterisks to break out. So maybe that's why they haven't used that sort of thing in the newspapers yet. I
am grateful to see that they've gotten this into the court systems and as quickly, if you will, because some of these, and even that with Chauvin. Oh my God. Like that it's relatively quick, because some of these trials are 6 years later, and we need to have that like momentum to keep the conversation and hopefully the healing and the process going. In the case of this I was going to say gentleman, but that's a wrong word. In case of this dude, Schaefer, essentially he pled guilty, and according to what the article is saying, it looks like that he is potentially going to assist the Justice Department with testifying against the group, which was the Oath Keepers. That's the group he's a part of. And what they're saying he most likely will get is that they're going to recommend he gets the 3.5 to 4.5 years in prison. So
all you have to do when you're a domestic terrorist is just go to prison for 3 or 4 years. That's no big deal.
You just have to be a rat, and anyway, I can't even. We're over time already, so we're gonna have to skip like all these other stories, which were really powerful, because we want to keep close to time. I do want to just share this for everybody because I feel like it has to be shared now and today, and then we have to tell everybody about our lies. 2 truths and a lie.
To them on
so
our podcast.
depending on when you watch this, we're recording this on Friday the 16th, but last night there was 8 people that were fatally shot at a FedEx facility in Indianapolis. And I want to share a graphic with you right now that I've got to share it like this or it won't show. This was the amount of mass shootings on the map. Courtesy of CNN, this graphic is from CNN. They have stated that this would be, if they mapped them all out, they consider a mass shooting to be anybody, anytime that there is 4 or more people, excluding the gunman, wounded or killed. So that's their statistic or their term of what a mass shooting is. In the past month, there has been 45. This one at FedEx was the 45th mass shooting. 45th mass shooting in a month in our country. If this does not get people talking about gun control, and mental health, because I think they go hand in hand. I'm sorry, and I don't want to end on such a heavy thing, but this to me, when I saw it visually, I thought, oh my God. And kind of, if you look at the dots, they're not centered just down the middle of the country, where some people might think the gun enthusiasts are more apt to live, if you will, based on. So I don't know.
This
I'm
is
at a
very
point.
important. No, thank you for sharing this, Jill. Like, that's a very real reality. And I get that we want to keep it light with what we do, but we also have to acknowledge the reality of it. So thank you for really putting that out there to make sure that we are all present with that. We can't just turn off anymore. We're in a place where we all have to be present. We have to all want together a better future. And that starts with us. For sure.
I'm going to do a tease for next week, and then we'll do our 2 girls and a squirrel, okay? So next week, so you can have some time to think about it, I would like to share about some really exciting news at the American Cancer Society, and it's in regards to our new CEO, who is the first woman CEO ever in 107 years. Dr. I've got to get the pronunciation correct, and I don't know it, but I think it's like Knudsen or Knudsen, but anyway, she's amazing. She's also a scientist, which is the first time since 1945 we've had a scientist at the helm. So she starts in June. But what I want to do for next week is I want to talk with you about what I call SHEros. Okay. So like, who is your SHEro? What is your SHEro? And in the meantime, if people are listening, if they want to share who their SHEros are, and our guy friends and our gender neutral friends, you can share. Who are the women who inspire you? I want to know. And if you send me a picture, if we can figure out how to put them up, we'll do that. Yes. All right. So think about your SHEros, okay?
Yes. I love this. I love this. This would be a good one. This is a thought-provoking one too, because SHEros can come in all different ways of how they impact us. So I'm so excited for this.
I can't wait. And we're also going to talk next week with a guest of Christina's, who they are going to be with us to chat about pronouns. And I think it's a very important conversation. It's a conversation that I've noticed I've been having amongst my work and amongst some of my friends. So join us next week when they join us as a guest and we chat about that. So it's going to be a jam-filled week next week. But let's wrap up with 2 truths and a lie. Christina, do you want to repeat yours?
Yes. So I have not just participated, I have won a beauty pageant. I have my solo skydiving certification, and I have taught pole dancing classes.
And mine are, I hate Brussels sprouts, I have never ridden a horse, and I have a U.S.-shaped birthmark. So I think everybody has probably had time to guess. We'll put the comment or email back up. But now I'm going to guess for Christina. I am going to guess that I'm thinking you have won a beauty pageant, because it's something that I think nowadays you would be like against, because you would think it was like anti-feminist or something. So I'm thinking you've won a beauty pageant. I'm thinking you've absolutely jumped out of a plane. And I'm thinking you have not taught pole dancing, but you would like to. That's my guess. What's the truth and what's the lie? What's the lie?
The lie is that I do not have my skydiving certification. I have jumped out of a plane 5 times. But I have not yet gotten my license to solo jump yet. I'm working on it. I am working on it, but I have not yet gotten my certification.
Oh, you've won a beauty pageant?
I was like 2. But yes, I did.
I mean, I'm not saying it because you're not beautiful, because I think you're gorgeous. You know that. Like, I certainly don't want people. I thought you won a beauty pageant.
Really?
Who was the judges? Was it the Blind Association? No,
I mean, you are too, but yeah.
You're stunning. Oh my God! If you can find a picture, please. Mama Tom, if you're listening, Mama Tom, can you please? And we'll talk about pole dancing because I want to know and I want to learn. You want to take a guess on mine?
Okay. Let's see. So I think the U.S. shaped birthmark is real because I feel like that's a very descriptive shape. I don't think you would put I think you would say I have a random birthmark. I am disappointed that you've never ridden a horse, and I really think it's the Brussels sprouts, man. I think that you just hate Brussels sprouts.
So I think I messed up.
Why?
I just realized I think I put 3 things that are true.
You just realized it right now.
There's vodka in here.
Brussels sprouts, and you've never ridden a horse, and you have a U.S. shaped birthmark.
Yes, I do. I'm sorry. I totally.
Wait, okay, so does it also include Alaska and Hawaii as part of your birthmark for the U.S.?
We didn't mention producer Jen, but I'll let her tell you later. It's on my upper thigh. And I don't, there's kind of an Alaska and Hawaii, like a little freckle, but there's definitely a Texas, a Maine, and a Florida, without a doubt. And I've almost, I have never ridden a horse, but I've almost ridden a horse because in May, I'm going to Texas and seeing my family. And I never rode a horse because I thought I was too heavy to ride a horse. And now that I've lost enough weight, we're going to ride horses. So, and I hate Brussels sprouts.
Oh.
They're horrible. That's
so funny because I'm making Brussels sprouts for dinner tonight.
Oh my God.
They're right there.
I cannot believe I did that. I put 3 truths.
You know the problem is? It took you this long to realize it was 3 truths.
Well, people have asked me what a vodcast is and if there's vodka, and no, there's not.
We don't need vodka. We really, this is us sober. This is us. This is us. We have no caffeine. There is no alternative substances, probably except for caffeine in that mug. Of course.
No, actually, you know what's in this mug? I'm dead serious. You know what's in this mug today? Water. My coconut water. So I'm not even, I'm jonesing because I was low on caffeine. We have to wrap. We're at 37 minutes. Holy macaroni. Sorry, everybody, but hope you stuck with us. And I screwed up the game, apparently.
We'll have to try again because that was just ridiculous.
If I could put up the face palm emoji, such a Jill thing. Well, it's true, Christina. We are a little bit nuts. We're a lot of fun.
We are a lot of fun, Jill. Thank goodness we're not afraid to speak from the heart because that was awesome.
I think that's what happened. I say so much that there was so hard to find something that people don't know about me.
You just can't lie. You were just too kind of a person to lie like that.
I really don't like lying. We're going to be back, hopefully, God willing, and we'll be on this side of the dirt next week. I will get this up hopefully soon, and please comment, like our YouTube page so we can get
subscribe
to our goal.
Subscribe.
And so we'll be back next week with our guest and with our SHEros and probably a bunch of other nonsense.
Excellent.
Everybody, we love you. We are 2 girls and a squirrel. Have an awesome week until we see you again. Cheers.
We miss you already.